Oh, never heard that before. It said recording in progress. I don't know. Maybe I never paid attention. Um, they're always changing something, aren't they? Happy Tuesday, guys. Thank you for joining me for this week's leadership Zoom. I am super excited because I have Ashley Olson on with us today, who is a brand new 200K, which is so exciting. Because we kind of get to hear some tips on, what she's been doing the last couple months to do that. And a $200,000 bonus is not too shabby. I don't think anybody is complaining about that one. And I'm super excited for you guys to hear her story and tips today. And Ashley, I wanted to jump right in, and I wanted to start in the very beginning, what you were doing before you got into this industry, any kind of network marketing at all. And then because I know you have a super interesting story. And then I want to go into did you do any kind of network marketing before Lavelle, and then how you found Lavelle, and we'll kind of go from there.
Sounds good. Hey guys, I am Ashley Olson. It is an honor to be here. I'll tell you right off the bat, even after 2.5 years, like this terrifies me. But do know that I focus on getting out of my comfort zone every single day, because that is how I grow. So yeah, I'm married. Both my husband and I are in the military. I just hit 18 years. He is about to hit 16 years. And he just got back from a deployment. We've got 3 boys. They're 10, 5, and 4. And, before Thrive, you guys, I worked full time for the Minnesota Army National Guard. My husband worked on the road 5 days a week. I was exhausted. Like a lot of our stories, I was exhausted. I was gone 13 hours a day with my commute and working full time. And again, like I said, my husband was gone. So to say that I was not a mom that I thought I would be is an understatement. And that is at the point when I started following Stuff for Steer every single day for about 4.5 months. She was a boy mom also, and she always had this energy about her. She went live every day and talked about the things that they were doing. Her and her boys, they're both the same ages as mine. And she was always smiling. And I was like, okay, I need that. Like, I was a miserable person to myself, my husband, my children. I was a window mom through and through, which put me kind of in a depressive space, because I was like, this is not what I pictured being a mom to be like. And so I watched her for 4.5 months, and I actually started as a balance customer. I think there was the $25 credits that went into new accounts, which made balance $15. I'm like, well, it's $15. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And she happened to send me a 3-day mini, which sat on my counter for a very long time. And yep, she had no idea. She had no idea I was watching. I was one of those ones that I secretly watched her. I never commented, didn't message her, nothing. And so I also lived off of coffee and Red Bull. So when she sent me that 3-day mini, you guys, it sat on my counter, because it was like, there's no way I am going to, just completely get rid of that morning coffee that I drank, those 2 Red Bulls a day I drank. Sat on my counter. Finally, after about 8 days, I took it. I was supposed to be in PowerPoint presentations for the military all day long. And I was like, hey, well, if there's any day this is going to work, we're going to put it to the test today. You guys, and I was a day one thriver, which I know not everybody has that story. Not everybody is a day one thriver, but that day I did not touch coffee. I made it, sat on the Keurig, never touched it, never left the house with it. It was still sitting there when I got home that day. You guys, in that day, when I got home after being gone for 13 hours, I actually engaged with my children. I didn't throw them in front of the TV like I did every other night, because I was so exhausted. I actually engaged with them. I made a good dinner. Like, I had this energy, and I had reached out to Steph, and I was like, what is in this? I'm like, I'm in the military. Is there anything in this that could possibly pop up on your analysis? Because I get those frequently. Like, this is not worth losing my military career. But you guys, I hit the promoter button on day 2, and I didn't do it because I needed an extra income. I did it because I knew that there were other moms out there that were struggling as much as I was, and I needed to share this. I didn't need an extra income. I wasn't looking for something to replace my full-time job. I loved my job. I knew I needed to share this. I am a healer by nature. And so that's what I did, is I set out to share this with others that I knew needed this product. I had no idea what I was doing. I had done, I think, 4 or 5 other network marketing, direct sales type companies in the past. I failed at every single one of them. And I 100% believe it's because the thing that stands out about Lavelle, you guys, is the community, the hand holding, the being able to, like I told you, we were complete strangers, Steph and I, but I put all of my trust in her and Steph Grachik. And I said, okay, let's do this. And I ran with it. Ignorance on fire. I had no idea what I was doing, but we just ran. Lisa, do you want me to go into like the ranks that I hit and all of that, or how I hit it, how fast? Lisa?
Oh, I thought I was on mute and I'm sitting here talking. Oh, I hate when that happens. I was just saying, since I've known you, you are busy. Like, if anybody knows anything about the military, the National Guard, like you are, there's a lot that goes into that and a lot of devotion. And there's a lot of people on here that always say they don't have time to do this business. And when they say that, you're one of the people I always think of, because like when I say that you are busy, you're busy. Like I remember we were at a retreat at Chassis and then you like had to fly out and go right into I got to go here. This is where I'm going to be. And you miss a lot of time with your children. I mean, you and your husband have this thing down. I mean, because this is what you do. And you were able to do this in a couple years. So that's so exciting. And we'll get into like a little bit more of that later, but I just wanted to point that out because when I say that you are busy, you're busy, like you truly are. And I do want to know like your timeline. So you said you've been in like 2.5 years, right?
Yes, we just hit 2.5 years.
Okay. So how did you grab your VIP bonuses? How long in between each one of your ranks?
So yes, I hit VIP 800 on the 12th day in my VIP period. I missed VIP 1600. I believe it was a customer and a promoter. So at December 5th is when I clicked that promoter button. I hit 4K on December 31st, literally hours before they launched, or it was like 2,000, 4,000. Or no, 2,000, 6,000, so on and so forth. It was half of what we just recently got done with. But I didn't let that stop me. At first I was like, oh, like I just hit 4K and I just missed a $2,000 bonus. But like I said, I ran in that first 6 months. I just did what my leaders told me to do. And we just ran. I had no idea what I was doing. I just followed their suit. And I took their advice and I ran with it. So in February, I think it was the 3rd week in February, we hit 12K for the first time. We grabbed the $6,000 bonus. And then right after that, we hit 12K on my husband's account, grabbed him a $6,000 bonus. And then it was that the next month, so March, we hit 40K. And then the very last day of that bonus period in April, we hit 80K. And I think, yeah, and then my husband we only hit 12K, or I don't say only like, but that's where we stopped with his account. But you guys, one thing that I do need to mention, so we hit 80K at only 5 months into my business, but we only held on to that rank for about 3 or 4 months, and then we lost it. And we lost 80K for 8 months, 9 months before we grabbed it back. And then, my husband left in June of last year. We were about $100,000 team. He left for Africa. He was going to be gone 11 to 12 months. And I knew what kind of leadership I had. I knew what kind of backing I had. And I knew like I had faith in my team. And so I was like, even though when they announced these bonuses, like the first 4 or 5 months of him being gone was hard. There were a lot of days that I wanted to quit. You guys, on top of COVID, having my kids home, having to school them, I have never aspired to be a stay-at-home mom. That's why my kids have continued to go to daycare, but then daycare closed. I had kids doing distance learning at home for 5 months. It was hard. Life was hard. I had every reason to give up. But when they launched these bonuses, I was at Steph Sears' house and we said, okay, we're doing it. Like, it doesn't matter what we need to do. I know where I want to go. I know, like, I want to retire my husband. I don't, like, right now, thank the Lord for this business, because my husband, who just got home last month, I don't need to send him back to work for another 4 or 5 months. Like, he can be home. We can make up for lost time. And then, you know, maybe this fall sometime he can go find a job. But I totally lost my train of thought.
Oh no, you were just talking about how you were stuck a little bit at 80K, or that you had lost it and then you stayed there, and then
Yep.
you know, grabbing this bonus. How far?
Oh, you cut out, Lisa.
Sorry, my phone rang. How far away were you in January from 200K volume?
In January, we were about 120K team. So
$80,000 in volume.
Yep.
That you needed to make happen.
What's that?
I said, so $80,000 in volume that you had to make happen.
Correct.
Before the end of April to hit these bonuses. So how did you do it? Like, what kind of tips do you have? What'd you guys do?
You know what? We got together with the entire team and just said, look, like, this is it. This is your chance to run for these. Like, finding out with each leader that we had on our team that wanted to run, like, what is your reasoning? Where do you want to go? What is your why? What could this do for your family? And we honestly, like, set up separate chats for each individual person that wanted to run. And we had, you know, 1, 2, 3, 200Ks, stuff for Sear. I mean, we all were in these chats and we all helped each other out and we just ran. We just ran for it. And you guys, I'll share when we actually hit 200K. You know, we had a lot of people hit ranks. We had a lot of people hit double ranks. And that to me is everything. Like, this isn't even so much like I need 200K, I need $200,000. That is not where my mindset was. My mindset was, how many people can we help grab these bonuses? And how many lives are we going to change with this? And how many new people are we going to bring in and show them the things that we like, how blessed we are here in Lavelle. And so we had a ton of people rank again. And then, you know, for me, it was like knowing I want to retire my husband. We are looking for land to buy. We want to build a house. Like, obviously those were on my dream board, my vision board. Those were things that I saw every single day. But the very last day of bonus season, you guys, I had to get up that morning at 5 a.m. and go report to drill and go spend 3 days out in the woods, where there was shoddy service, minimal electricity. We had generators that maybe ran every 3 hours. And so I'm a platoon sergeant. I have 25 troopies underneath me that I need to manage. I couldn't be in my phone. But because I communicated through the entire bonus season into that very last day with my leaders, they knew where I was at. They had my login information. You guys, had I not, and I'm going to cry because what I experienced that day is the reason why I'm still here, is the community, the leadership, being able to see my phone and all these messages popping up and my team coming together and these leaders stepping in my shoes essentially and helping every single person. Like, that night at 9:30 when I got that phone call from Steph and Sonia and Steph for Sear, like, that's forever ingrained in my head. I will never be able to repay what the leaders and my team did on that day, as far as their bonuses and us going 200K.
That's what a team's about. That's so cool.
And they were
I
at
mean,
conference. They were at conference. They were in Texas, but they still did this. They spent all day Friday doing this.
that's so amazing. And you just talked about, you know, you have days like that where you can't, there's no way you can be on your phone. Like, it is not like a job where, you know, people can sneak on their phone. You can't do that. Like, there's just no way to do that. And there's so many people that make excuses, you know, on why they can't do their business, or they're so busy, or, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but imagine having your husband go away for 10 months, 3 kids. How old are they?
10, 5, and 4.
10, 5, and 4. And not, and you, on to boot, you have a job where there's days that you cannot be on your phone. Like, there's so many people in this business that use, I've got kids, I don't have enough time, my job won't let me be on the phone. I mean, I hear those 3 things all the time. I don't have support from a spouse. Guess what? When your husband was away from 10 months, you didn't have that support there. You guys, like, there is just no excuse. If you want something, you figure it out, you find a way, you go after it. And, you know, it's okay to lean on your team. Like, that's okay to do. And when you ask for help, ask for support, and, you know, get together, figure out what people want. And I don't know why people always have to wait around for bonuses to make that happen. I mean, at the end of the day, you guys, the compensation plan that Lavelle has, just without bonuses, is incredible. It's like, if you want to make something happen, no matter what that is, it's doing what, you know, Ashley just said, sitting down and, where does each person want to go? Let's make it happen. What do we have to do to make that happen? So, I mean, 2.5 years. And I mean, I'm sure there's times where you have felt stuck, or, I don't know, me. I mean, everybody's seen stuff happen. I mean, you're a new 200K, but that does not stop the stuff. Like, you know, on your way to 200K, I'm sure there's been things that have been disappointing or held you back, or times that you thought, okay, I don't even know how this is going to work. Is there anything that does stick out to you that that other people on here might be going through, that you had to push through?
I think the biggest thing that I've had to push through is those that quit on themselves. There's been a lot of times where I find myself wanting it more for somebody, especially if it's somebody that I've created this bond with, or somebody that I've known outside of Lavelle or known for years. And I know that this could be the one thing that changes everything for them. But they just don't, they're not there yet. They're not ready. So being able to pull myself out of that equation, you know, obviously letting them know that I'm still here for them. I still want it for them, still maintaining that relationship outside of Lavelle. But knowing that it's not about me. I mean, if they're not ready, it's not their time. They probably will come back eventually, but I can't put all that focus. I mean, it's draining. It is draining caring that much about somebody or what this business can do for somebody. And they're just not there. And so that's probably been one of the biggest things I've had to grow through, is, you know, kind of being able to take a step back from people who just, they aren't where I'm at. They don't see the long-term vision right now. But then also remembering to maintain that relationship with them.
Yeah, it sucks, especially
Mhm.
when you see the potential for somebody and you know that this could change their life, but they're just making a lot of excuses and they're not putting the time in, the time that
Mhm.
you have to put in. And I was curious. I mean, one of the questions I always ask on this Zoom is, how does somebody build their network? Do you have like a lot of military people on your team, or have you built through social media? What are some ways that you're adding to your network and then building your network?
I do have some military, but I try to it's mainly those that I've just been friends with on social media for a long time, or I've had a relationship outside of the military. I try to keep them separate. I don't bring it on drill weekends. I don't bring this into drill weekend, or, any kind of training for that matter. I'm a very slow grower when it comes to social media. I'm super picky with who I bring into my space. I started out with, I think, 420 friends on Facebook. I didn't even have an Instagram at that point. And now I just broke over 2,000 people on Facebook. I probably have 1,000 followers on Instagram. But I take the time when I'm adding. I don't go through these mass, like daily, I don't mass add. I take 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, and I go and I scrub their social media. I make sure that, especially with all this political stuff and COVID, I have to be careful. I'm an empath, so I soak in all that negativity and it just destroys my day. So that's how I do it. I've slowly really picked through people on social media. But when I do have a new friend that has accepted me, I will go through their friends list to kind of keep it kind of like tight knit. A lot of people know a lot of people. And I think that's helped too with helping people thrive for free and all of that, is to keep it very tight knit. But again, that's me. That works for me. That's not going to work for everybody. I know there's some that just mass ad. They'll pick one name, Stephanie Johnson. They'll go search for Stephanie Johnson and just add a bunch of those people. But that doesn't work for me. I can't do that.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people think that you have to have like 5,000 friends on Facebook, and the fact that you've hit like just 2,000, honestly, that's like, and you're 200K. So to me, that just shows how much you nurture the relationships you do have. You're super picky, but you're nurturing the ones you do have, which I think is so smart. It's not about mass adding. I think sometimes people think they have to mass add and then that's the way to do it. And the people that I talk to the most about how they're doing it through social media, they're not mass adding. They're, it's not like they're not at 5 billion followers and, 5,000 Facebook friends. They're really taking their time to add the right people and build the relationships. Speaking of like your team and adding to it, what about new promoters? Like when you've got that new person that's like kind of in your inbox, like, let's do this. Take me a little bit through some of the things you do with that person. Obviously we want them to VIP. Not everybody gets to VIP and that's okay. A lot of people aren't going to VIP. Just like you said, you VIP'd 800, you didn't 1,600. That doesn't dictate at all. I love this call because I love listening to 200K share about that, because there's so many that get on here and say, I didn't get my VIP bonuses at all. And I think that there's people on the call today that are like, oh my gosh, okay, so they didn't get their VIP bonuses and they're at 200K. She didn't get both her VIP bonuses and she's at 200K. Like, you can still do this, because those beginning bonuses aren't going to dictate your success later on. Some people are going to get lucky right out of the gate and have people that trust them right away. And most of us won't. Unfortunately, we've got to build up our network, but obviously we want to help people try to get that money. Like, we don't want to leave it on the table. We'd love to see every single person that joins us get the VIP bonuses. And we're going to try to make it happen. But at the end of the day, it is and it isn't, doesn't matter, because we're all going the same place as long as we stay consistent and don't give up. What are some of the things that you do with a brand new person to try to help them get those bonuses?
So for me, the VIP period is like the foundation, like that is the foundation of getting somebody started with this business. And ultimately, if it's done, not strategically, and I don't want to say the right way, but if it's done, like if you're in their face, talking to them every single day, helping them get that set up and teaching them how to market and talk to people, that will set up the foundation for their business, regardless of whether or not they get those VIP bonuses. But when we have a new person hop on board, 3 ways, 100%, we have VIP chats for every single person that comes in, becomes qualified and active. and we get them rolling. Brittany Strike created the VIP period group, which is a huge tool that we use, as well as the Dream Team training videos. But ultimately, being in touch with them every single day, telling them what to post, helping them, get creative and share pictures of them using the product or share videos of them using the product, instead of just, I despise graphics. If you just, when we have promos that come out and you just take a screenshot of the email and throw it on your timeline, I despise that. People think that's spammy. I am big on you showing your face with your DFT, you showing your face with your 3 steps, you taking video in your stories, using your 3 steps every single day. Like, I am big on that. And so that's what we teach them. We teach them that. We're in their VIP period chat every single day. We'll incentivize if need be. But that is ultimately where it is at for our VIPers. And I love doing welcome calls too within that first, 48-hour period. So they can get that face-to-face, even if it's not my personally enrolled, I love to be able to get face-to-face so that I'm one more person that they can count on, that they can lean on to get their business going.
Let's talk about incentives a little bit. Like, what do you do for your team? Like, when you get your product credits every month loaded on the 2nd, what do you normally do with those? And what are some things that you feel like anybody could do, no matter, even if they're new, and that's really all they're getting right now is some free product credits? What are some things that you think like are promotions that people can run for their team, or things that you've done in the past that you think anybody could do on here?
So at the point that we're at, and actually we've been doing this since probably the 3rd month in the business, is both my husband and I thrive for free, and those credits are used for current customers, like auto ship customers. I incentivize my auto ship customers every single month. I do free shipping in the form of credits. So once their auto ship is set up, I will send those over so they can enable them for when their auto ship runs. I love to do random pop-up incentives for my team, as far as, $15 off or free shipping. What else do we do? I use all of our free credits, and then I even convert some from my paychecks every once in a while, depending on, the month and how the month's going. I also use my credits. Every once in a while, we'll do the promoter that does X, Y, and Z over the next 3 days will win $100 in credits. Or, if I have extra product, which is usually always, I also will use product to incentivize, or we'll do like a free sculpts type giveaway and use my credits to purchase the sculpt and send those out, whether it's for promoters or their customers. If it's coming to the end of a qualification period for a getaway and we're working on getting auto ship set up for promoters on my team, we'll do a auto ship. If you have this, get your customers on auto ship, and we'll incentivize with $10 in credits or whatever.
Did you hear me okay?
I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Because I'm in my car and I don't ever.
I hear a baby. Did we lose her? Lisa, if you're talking, you're muted.
Okay, I muted out for some reason. Jesus, what a day. Technical difficulties. I really think it's like so important for people to understand how even just a little bit of product credits can help keep a customer, or appreciate a customer that you already have. I mean, that's one of the first things I do is I go to my current customers and I'm like, I want to send you $15 towards shipping, or, that's how you pay attention and keep the people that you already have. But then bringing on new people, and especially paying attention to those people that are in their VIP period, that maybe they could sign that new customer or promoter. How important, or how many like three-way messages, three-way calls? How do you guys do that?
Yes. Steph Rose will talk, or Steph Garcia will talk about this. I, for a long time, did not utilize three-way chats. I was stubborn. I was like, nope, I got this. I can handle it. And when I finally got rid of that being stubborn and just started going all in with the three-way chats, it changed everything for me. And so now I really stress people utilize three-way chats with potentials, with your new promoters, even the ones that are, free promoters. Utilize the three-way chats, at least have one more leader in there. You guys having that extra, I mean, life happens. We've had some stuff with girls on my team that have happened recently, and if we didn't have these three-way chats, we had one girl, I think it was in March. She's one of my personally enrolled, and she went into Facebook jail. And had she not had every single person in three-way chats, she went 12K that month. She went 12K the month that she was in Facebook jail. She couldn't go live. She couldn't do anything. And had she not had those people in three-way chats with me, it wouldn't have happened. There's no way it wouldn't have happened. So I stress it all the time. We talk about it all the time. And those that maybe have potentials that absolutely not 100% would not be okay with that, then we just do screenshots and help with verbiage that way.
Okay, for some reason, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, for some reason, I do not know why, ever since I got in my car, I can't hear you. Like, I cannot hear anything you're saying, and I'm trying to figure out why. But I also wanted to ask you, all that matters is you can hear me right now. I wanted to ask you, as far as your income producing activities, like, these are things that I have to do every single day for my business. And then I also want to ask you, on these days that you have these crazy hours, like, how do you fit it all in? Like, how do you make sure you do your list of income producing activities? So kind of a two-part question. First of all, what are those things that you do every day? Like, and how do you keep it organized? Do you like write it down? Do you just know? Do you have a list of things? Do you, have a calendar? Are you super organized? And then also, how do you make sure you do those things on those days where you've got like to be gone for the whole weekend, or however long you have to be gone for, and you can't be on the phone?
So I am probably the most organized person you'll ever meet. And I've gotten a little bit better. I've had to, especially with my husband being gone. I have a lot of just handwritten lists, sticky notes. I mean, I understand the madness behind it all. Most people, when they look at it, and probably run, but I have a lot of handwritten stuff. But recently I've started using spreadsheets a little bit more. I've actually pulled all of my customer base into a spreadsheet, because I've started actually sending out emails twice a month to my customers. And that's helped me tremendously. As well as having like my own customer chat. Tony Tomzak on my team started this probably a year and a half ago, and she shared it with all of us. And so we all have our own customer chats, which is huge with communicating, promos and all that kind of stuff. But as far as my daily IPAs, I get up, there is no excuse. Every single day I am up at 5:30 in the morning. My days start with me. They don't start with anybody else. And so, especially, and this is probably the main reason why I survived this deployment and I still have hair, is because I get up and I focus on me first. I do my meditation, I do my gratitude, and then I jump in. I'm big on doing birthday messages every single day. I've started doing the ABCs as far as interacting, because now that my friends list is getting bigger, it's getting a little more overwhelming for me. And so that helps me keep on track. And so I just go through every single day. I have a new letter that I go through, what are their last names, A or B or C. And I go through, and that's when I do my engagement with those people. And then I just go through my list, my mini experiences that need to be followed up with, my customers that just ordered within the last 14 days that I'm following up with. Really, that's it. my lists are probably the one thing that keeps me sane. But I definitely follow 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I most days 10x that and do more than just the basic 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just, I think the relationship building every day is probably going to be the biggest thing that has kept my personal business up and running. Because customer service is where it's at, and we have to provide that every single day. If you're signing up people and you're having people order, like brand new people, and you're not following up with them, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to continue to order through you. And they're probably going to find somebody else that they connect with better that is going to take care of them. And they will end up going with them. Even though that does go against compliance to have multiple accounts, it happens. So customer service 100% every single day is my focus.
Okay, you stopped talking, so I'm going to assume that you're done talking. This really sucks. I'm going to have to watch this whole thing back because I have no idea what you're saying. And actually, I'm about to go into a doctor's appointment, so Chas is going to, Chas, I'm pulling you in a little bit earlier if you're free, just because I cannot hear. No idea. I'm like sitting here trying to drive, figuring out why no sound is coming through either my phone or my car right now. I'm waiting to see if Chas is ready because I told her I was going in at there she is. Okay, Chas, I can't hear, so I'm just letting you take over. You're the best.
All right. Well, when I saw who the guest would be, I was super excited and I've got a driver. Look at me. So I was super excited to see who the guest was because I think it's very important that we hear the tips and the tricks, but I also wanted to take this opportunity as a leader that just got started before Ashley did to say how much you inspire me. And the fact that I see you working through life and working through the struggle. And then what really ministered to my heart was at conference when, I don't know if you know this, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell this, but Steph, Forcier said she went down and she made sure that you got your 200K banner, and she went to Drew, like she went through all the hoops, and she's like, what are they doing with all these? And she's like, I got to have it. We got to get it to her. I mean, just that love and commitment from your leadership, your team, sidelines, downline, upline, like you just command that respect. And I think, I mean, fitting for the industry that you're in, but you don't just serve your country, you serve us, you serve your team. And so I wanted to take some time because I've had some time to be around you. And as a very successful woman in probably, I mean, I would say military is pretty male dominant, right? I mean, is that wrong to say that? And
no, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure you have to get in there and kick some ass, but I really feel like you just command that presence and respect without having to be over the top. And for me, like, my insecurities come out and I feel like I have to be over the top so that I can get that respect. And so when I watch you, and I've had the opportunity to watch you several times, I just love how you lead, because I believe that is super important in this industry. We have to be servant leaders. Now, that doesn't mean we get to be a doormat and we get to step on people, but tell us, and you may have already said it because I was trying to listen and I'm getting some time with my baby girl. So I was like listening to both, but I know those times are precious. But, you know, as you navigate, you go through all of this, leading a team, leading in your career, leading your boys, being essentially a single mama. What are the things that you do when you get down, when you get discouraged? Because we do. And if you've already said that, I apologize, but just some of the things, because I think we have to understand, even with success is no respecter of persons. We are going to get down. We're going to feel down. We're going to feel defeated. So what's your reach up strategy, even being a woman of strength and confidence of, hey, I'm struggling a little bit. What would you say to someone that feels alone, but yet they know they have the potential, they know they have the opportunity to break through, but what do you do? What do you do when you're just having those struggles?
So the old me before finding Thrive, I was stubborn. I've always been super independent, but I was stubborn, and I just I didn't need anybody's help. I pushed everybody away. And that probably put me in a lot of the depressive moods that I was in. It was super high anxiety. And so I've done a lot of growing over the last 2.5 years when it comes to that. And I tell a lot of people. So I was very public about this journey with my husband being gone over the last 11 months. And I tell a lot of people, and I actually just had another mom reach out to me the other day, like, I need help, I need advice. Like, what do I do? I've learned that I have to be willing to ask for help. In any aspect, the military, when it comes to my kiddos, my house, my business, like I have to be willing to ask for help. And that is why we have the community that we have. And you guys, when it comes to like just the deployment alone and getting help with the kids in the house and the animals, I'll tell you 100%, I did not have a lot of support from my family or my husband's family. My support came from my Thrive community and my friends, like 100%. And I can never express, I'll never be able to express how grateful I am for Lavelle and Thrive. But not only that, not only being able to ask for help, but I'm in this business to help change lives. I wake up every day, whose life am I going to change today? And even if it's just one person in the next year that their life I help change, that's okay, because it's one person whose life is going to change. But being able to help others, whether they're running for a rank, running for a bonus, just reaching down and reaching out to the side and grabbing the fire from those that are 100% killing it right now. That is one of the biggest things that helped keep me going, not only through bonus season, but just keep like doing something with my business every single day while my husband was gone, trying to juggle everything on top of it. Definitely feeling off of other people's fire.
No, and again, apologize if I missed it, but just tell me. I know, we don't make financial claims, medical claims, that sort of thing, but what's been an accomplishment that, because, obviously you work, obviously, you get, your husband, but what is something that Lavelle has that you really feel like if it wasn't for Lavelle, you may not have been able to check off that goal board or that dream board, or some of the things, even if it's like self-development and growing and learning how to navigate the ups and downs of life, because it is, it's just like some days are just great and some days are just like struggles. So what is something that you feel you take pride? And I know watching your team grow and watching them have that success, like there's nothing better than that. It's one thing to be able to pay your bills and take care of your kids, but when someone says, because of you saying yes, I'm making a difference for my family. But what's something personally that you're pretty proud of?
100% personal growth. Before I found Thrive, I was a miserable person. I was not nice to anybody. I thought my shit didn't stink. And most people would like see me coming and they turn and walk the other way. And so, starting to put like just the product itself, putting it into my body and finding like a newfound me and feeling good. And just, overall, you and I have talked about the fitness stuff and, finding that motivation to change my fitness journey around. You guys, most people see me and they're like, oh, you're in the military, you've always worked out. Not true. I always, up until about 2.5 years ago, I did the bare minimum. I did the bare minimum on a lot of things when it came to the military, and most people don't know that. But now fitness has become my life. Being motivating and empowering to other women never was a thing before. And that is like probably the biggest thing I'm most proud about, is being able to empower others every single day. Almost daily, I have at least one person, mostly non-thrivers, reach out to me. They're following my journey on social media, my motivational posts, and almost daily I have somebody reach out to me and they thank me for what I posted the day before because they needed to hear it, or they're struggling. That right there is everything to me. It doesn't mean that they're going to be my next thriver. I don't even care about that. I care that I made a difference in one person's life today.
And that's why I think a lot of times I say this all the time. People think, oh, there, you guys are a cult. I'm like, whatever, we're community, because we do life together and we cheer each other on into that greatness and what they want to accomplish in life. And I think that is so true. You know, like, making an impact on people is the greatest. I mean, you know, I always say, and this is not a morbid statement, but you know, we're not promised tomorrow. Our today is a gift. And at the end of the day, I hope that I always say I'm going to have the biggest memorial party ever, because I have connected with so many people. They're going to need to rent like the Cowboy Stadium. But it's going to be that I welcomed them. I encouraged them. I made a difference in their life. Not, you know, we got to buy a square foot house and we got to buy an Escalade and we got all those things. We had options for our children. I mean, now being in 7.5 years, we're watching, like, there's no way. I'm like watching these people's kids grow up. I'm like, they were just a baby yesterday and here they are, like, graduating high school. So we've done life together and it is a very exciting thing. And, you know, I think for us, you know, and people look at us and they say, okay, we're disciplined. I do know that you were doing the bare minimum because you share that truth. And I think that's so important, is because people, we're thriving, we're having a great day, we're productive. They don't know where we came from. And I'll say it a million times. Pat always reminds me, like, they need to know where you came from. Now, I am not the kind of person that likes to live in a victim mentality and say, okay, I was on the struggle bus and, you know, I don't post that every week, but once a month, every other month, I want people, the new people that are coming into, because you should be growing your network all the time. I want them to know, like, I don't work out because I love to work out. I work out for my mental health, and mental health has been a struggle for me for 20 years. And that's my truth. Thrive doesn't cure or, you know, anything, but it does help. It helps on the days, like I talk about how I don't like the rain and the clouds. It's raining and storming and I'm out with lipstick on. Like, that's a miracle, you know? So that, people look at us and they say, you know, oh, you're doing so good. So plateau, you know, when you get to where you feel like I've knocked on every door, I've talked to every person, my family's just not ready to join me yet. Give us some tips, like, just what do you do? And I know you're super involved with your team, but what do you do to find those new connections? Are you belly to belly? Are you face to face? Are you pretty much social media? What is a couple of things that if someone's looking for a way to find new people that you would recommend? I mean, they're gonna have to do the do, but what would you recommend to them?
So I'll start by saying that belly to belly terrifies me, and that's something I'm working on right now. And so that's actually, for me, knowing that I need to continue to grow. Like, it's summertime, we have t-shirts and tank tops on, so I'm always wearing it loud and proud. And I'm pushing through. If I am watching for those people, and I have to give myself a little pep talk. But for those, like, on my team that, you know, have come to me and are looking for something new, or what's next? What can I try next? You know, if you haven't tried the groups, working the groups, building relationship in groups, you definitely should. I have done it. I did it in the beginning. I took a break from it. I did it again during bonus season, and now I'm taking a break from groups because that overwhelms me. And again, is something else that I have to push myself out of my comfort zone to do. But you guys, ask my team, like I am constantly telling them, you need to get uncomfortable. There's every single person I talk to when I'm like, okay, well, what have you done already that you say isn't working anymore? And what is something that terrifies you? What is something that scares you so much that it makes you, feel like you're going to throw up? Like, that's what you need to be doing. We need to be getting uncomfortable. And again, like I said in the beginning of this, you guys, I could have given Lisa every excuse to not come on this Zoom because I've had anxiety all day long, knowing that I had this Zoom. But for me, I'm still, even at 200K, I'm still in a season of growth. I'm still trying to push through being uncomfortable. And this will probably always be uncomfortable for me. But let me tell you, over the last 2.5 years, it's gotten a lot easier. Even with the military, I used to do the bare minimum. I would find every excuse to not get in front of other troops and lead them and teach them. And now I'm doing that. I'm doing all of the things. And I was promoted to a platoon sergeant back in November, which is something I didn't know if I was going to hit by the time I hit 20 years and retired, because for so long, I pushed off doing the things that I needed to do to get to that point. And so it'll always make me scared. It'll always make me uncomfortable, but I'm always going to continue to do it because I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to be that person anymore. So again, like if you feel like you're getting to a point where you just are like, I don't know what else to do, I'm not growing, nobody's interested, you're more than likely in a planting season. So you need to remain consistent, but also find something that you have not done yet because you're scared, and do it anyways. Do it scared. Push through that being uncomfortable, because if you continue to do it and keep doing it, it's not going to be as uncomfortable anymore.
And I will say this, as we have, I think we welcomed our 15th, 14th millionaire into this team in 7.5 years. One thing that I will say when people ask me, what is your secret to success? And I'll say building relationships and always knowing that I need to grow. What is something that you see that causes people to become stagnant or to give up on themselves? And I will say that 100%, I believe it's because they become comfortable. They become comfortable with bills are paid, things are done. And in this industry, you have to keep growing. I love the fact that we have to qualify for our trips. We don't get, a leg up on a bonus. We have to go ground floor to get that bonus, just like everyone else. We have to go get the people for double triples. We have to make it happen. So, it is something that I think that's powerful. What you said is this is always going to be uncomfortable, but you're going to get better at it. I still am not 100% comfortable. People would see me and they're like, she is an extrovert. I'm an extrovert when I have my circle, but when I am not in my circle, I will blend into the crowd. And that's okay. I am okay with that. And so I recognize my strengths and my weaknesses, but I am definitely a belly to belly person. I love to look into someone's eyes and hear their stories and hear what's going on, because what I've realized in this business is people are looking for solutions, whether that is financially, if they're looking for a product to help them with their energy, coping with just life, or they're looking for a community. And you have to understand what it is they want. If you, and I don't want to misquote it, I don't know, Warren Buffett or somebody says, or maybe it was, I don't know who it is. Somebody may know it, but it's like, if you help enough people get what they want, you will get everything you need and want. And so as a servant leader, as a leader that gets the opportunity to lead beside you, I told Lisa, I'm honored to close this call because you are an incredible human. I say it all the time. If you do not have layered leadership on your leaderboard, get it on there, because layered leadership changes everything. We've got leaders, we know Amber's family just went through something. Maria's family's going through things. I mean, someone's always going to be going through something because our reach is so broad. But when you learn to serve others and you have layered leadership, you can keep on going, step back in, and never miss a beat. But that's the thing. Stay uncomfortable, learn and grow, and get back in. And when you need help, reach out, ask for help, say, hey, I've got this commitment, I can't do this. And the other thing I love is that, you know, when you've come to events and you've come to things, there's been times where you're like in and out, but you didn't make that excuse. I'm sure you were tired that next morning, but you're like, I got to be there and I got to go. And so thank you for leading by example. Thank you for being an example to me. And any last closing tips? We're actually going to close on time. Maybe because Lisa's not closing it. No, just kidding. I was not listening.
You know, no, my biggest tip is going to be that always be willing to get uncomfortable. And then you guys be in constant communication with your uplines and your downlines, like always be in communication. You know, like I said, if I didn't entrust in my leaders and, you know, build the family that I have as far as my team goes, I don't know that we would have hit 200K with me not being able to be in my phone and be a part of everything. So don't, like, on your even on your worst days, be in touch with your leaders, let them know what's going on. If you have to take a step back for 24 hours because of X, Y, and Z, communicate that with them. Don't bring it down, but bring it up. You know, and always show your appreciation for your team and always build leadership like Chas talked about, because again, had we not done that, I don't know that we would have hit 200K. So I'll forever be grateful for that day. It'll forever be ingrained in my head. But yeah, that's gonna be my biggest tips.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. One, for serving our country and the sacrifice that your family does for us. We know that freedom is not free. And so we honor you, and Memorial Day is coming up. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. It's an opportunity, guys, for you to run some promos for, you know, people in the service, maybe families, things like that. Hey, I want to get some families started. I'm looking for 2 families that are struggling with energy, or maybe some families. I mean, the military is a revolving door. That is an opportunity for you to find people that, you know, the mamas and the wives and the husbands, they may have to travel and relocate. And guess what? They get to take this business everywhere they go. So to say what Lisa always says is, today is payday, and we feel like we get paid twice on Tuesday. And today I feel like we got triple paid because we had such an amazing guest. And guys, if you want to follow Ashley, the thing is, you're going to see if she's consistent. She shows up. So thank you for your time. Thank you for being our guest. Thank you for leading with your whole heart. And I hope y'all found value. Remember that these will be uploaded. If you found value, make sure that your teams take the time, run them a challenge, give them, hey, I'm giving $10 in credits for whoever goes and catches this leadership live. Someone needs to hear it, because someone's making an excuse that they're too busy, and they're going to hear this story and they're going to go, if she can do it, I can do it. And that's basically what we do every single day, is believe in people until they believe in themselves. So Ashley, thank you so much. Thank you, and have a great day. Thank you, Danny, for recording. And hey, can we all just like unmute? We're going to do Paul Gravette. Oh, I can't unmute. Can I unmute all? Hold on. Let me see. Okay, y'all unmute and let's sing happy birthday to Danny. Are y'all ready? Okay. All right. Happy birthday
to you.
Happy
Birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Danny.
Danny.
Happy
Birthday to you.
Have a great day. And many
Happy
more.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Have a great day.
Happy birthday.
Enjoy your day.